Hey guys, hey family, welcome to our deep dive of our Wisdom Wednesdays, where we go deeper into what we talked about this week for our weekly Wisdom Wednesday devotional. I'm getting it better, guys. I'm getting better at it. And this week we are talking about endurance. And it's so crazy how God is. So I can understand why He brought this topic in, because this week is just Wednesday and it already is a week of enduring for me. And nothing crazy. Sometimes I think that when we think of endurance, it has to be like the biggest trial ever. No, it's just a hectic week, and a week that I already want to tap out of and rest my brain and be on Saturday, and that's not going to happen. So we have to endure, we have to persevere, we have to keep going, right? And so I am so, I don't think I'm amazed anymore when it comes to God, but I am thankful and grateful that He chooses certain things for us to talk about or discuss, because He already sees beforehand what we are going to need and when we're going to need it, right? So if you are new here, if you are coming strictly, just from this title and you didn't check out our 3-minute devotional, please check that out. I will link it below. But my name is Lachelle. If you're returning, hey fam, hey, we do weekly devotionals for you to jumpstart your devotional time with God, so you can spend some time with Him because He desires to spend time with you. And in these videos, we go a little bit deeper because sometimes it's hard to put all that in 3 minutes, guys. And it's hard for me because if you don't know, I can be long-winded. And in that, it makes it a little bit harder for me to kind of get all that God wants to talk about and all the revelation He gave me to share with you in that 3-minute time. So we started off, guys, and we were in Hebrews chapter 12, and we are going to go verses 1 through 3. And it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance or endurance the race marked for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. For the joy set before Him, He endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider Him who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart." And so let's kind of talk about that, right? I'm sorry, I'm looking in Hebrews. I have a study Bible, and I'm looking to see who was the writer of Hebrews. And it says, I knew it. It says that they don't really know. The name of the author is not given, but it could be Paul, Luke, Barnabas, Silas. Sometimes I'm just looking because as I start to read and find out who the writers were, sometimes I'm like, is this Paul? Because some of the wording can be so, right? And guess what? Let's talk about that. It's important for you to understand who is the author. So when you look at that, you can see the difference between Paul's writing and John's writing and James' writing. And you can see like Luke, who, I think was the doctor, and Paul, who's always stating cases. And some people write and it has more poetry and more feeling with it. And other people write and it is kind of to the point. And so sometimes when I read it, I have to read it over and over again. So if you're like me, just know I have to sometimes read this over and over again and be, okay, God, break this down. And a tip of what I do is I pull out what is God saying in it. God, give me a revelation of what you're saying in this. And if I'm talking about endurance, where do I see endurance in those first 3 verses? And so when we break it down, specifically in verses 2 and 3, it breaks down endurance. And we go, and let us run with perseverance the race marked for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. For the joy set before Him, He endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand in the throne of God. Consider Jesus, who endured such opposition from sinners, so that He will not grow weary and lose heart. And so, how do I say it? Sometimes I feel like we have to what is it when it says eat the meat, spit out the bones in certain aspects? So there's so much there that if you are like, what is this? Especially if you're new to reading the Bible, it can get overwhelming. And so what I want you to do as you read that, pull out what God is highlighting to you. It may not be all of that, but when we are talking about endurance, this is letting us know that how Jesus endured, that Jesus had to endure the cross, and what we are to do to endure. We are to keep on, what is it saying? Let us throw off everything that hinders us. So we're supposed to throw off the sin that keeps us bound. It also says to run with perseverance. So run with endurance, run without giving up, keep going, don't stop. And it tells us that we are to fix our eyes on Jesus. As we fix our eyes on Jesus, he will perfect our faith through the trial, through the hardship. And then lastly, it tells us we are to remember Jesus, especially remember what he endured on the cross and everything he went through. Because if we understand, if Jesus went through some hardships, we're going to go through some hardships too. But if we keep our eyes fixed on him, he will perfect our faith. If we don't give up, don't give in to the sin and anything that keeps us bound, Jesus will continue to perfect our faith, and we will not grow weary. We will continue to run. And it says you will not lose heart. Eyes fixed on Jesus, remembering who he is and what he went through on the cross for us. So therefore, as we continue to remember that, our faith is perfected because we understand that as I am going through this, Jesus is right along with me because he went through things way worse as well. And so that's what I wanted to kind of highlight as you break that down. Sometimes you have to pay attention to what God is saying and ask him to pull it out and reveal it to you. So that way you can kind of take the meat of what the word is saying to you versus trying to take it all in, if that makes sense. I hope it does, guys. But as I was reading this, I was thinking about a scene in the movie The Shack. And so I've seen it once before, and I recently watched it again and forgot how powerful that movie is. It's such a powerful, dynamic movie. It could be hard to watch. It is not based off of rainbows and butterflies. It is based off of just a horrific event and a man that has to walk out forgiveness in that event. And different events in his life. If you've never seen the movie, there are various things in his life that he has to walk out forgiveness in, and he gets to experience meeting the Trinity. So he meets God the Father in a certain way, he meets Jesus, and he meets the Holy Spirit. But in one of the scenes, he is in a river, he's in a bottle of water, and he is in a canoe, and he is having a flashback to something that happened, and the canoe is starting to shake, and it is starting to like disappear, and he's having what is like a panic attack. He is freaking out, and Jesus in the movie is telling him, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's, you know, if you look at me, look at me, look at me. And he's just saying, pause, look at me, breathe, look at me. And as he does this, the things start to shift and peace starts to come over and trust starts to happen. And I think when I read this part of Hebrews, that's what God is saying. Keep your eyes fixed on Jesus. So even in the hardship, even in the panic, even when it feels like you're drowning, even when it feels like everything is crazy around you, when you look to Jesus, when you look at him, you keep your eyes fixed on him. He is a perfecter of our faith. Things will start to shift as you endure whatever hardship you are going through, whatever season you are going through, whether it is something that may seem like it is the end of the world or something that just may be like, this is a really tough day that I have to endure. Keep your eyes fixed on Jesus. Get your word out. Start playing some praise music. Pray. Talk to God. Just like I'm talking to you, you can talk to him. And watch things start to shift, because what we are doing is we are not focusing so much on the hardship. We are focusing on the glory that God is with us through it. We are focusing on the fact that, yes, this may be hard, but I serve a God that says he will be right with me through it. And it shifts your mindset. It takes the heaviness off when you know that you are not carrying it alone. When you know that God is there listening to you. When you know that he is working it out for your good. I just have to keep walking through it. I just have to keep my eyes fixed on Jesus and walking through it. So if you are looking to get a little bit more sort of encouragement on some Bible verses you can read to help you through all of this, we have James. And you can go to chapter 1, verses 2 through 4. Romans 5, verses 3 through 4. We have Isaiah 40 verse 31 and 1 Corinthians 15 through 58. I will link them below, but I just want to encourage you guys, do not give up on the call on your life. Do not give up when seasons get hard. Do not give up when hardships tend to kind of gnaw at you. Keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, guys. Keep your hope and your faith fixed on him and watch him work it out. I love you guys, and we'll be back next week for another deep dive in our weekly dose of God. Oh guys, did I mess it up? Our weekly Wisdom Wednesdays. Oh my gosh. Let me get that right. But I will see you guys next week. Love you. Bye.